Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the side hustle economy, and we're going to talk about the hidden math that shows why working more could actually be making you poorer. So this is the kind of math a guy named Kevin did. He's an Uber driver, just trying to get a little ahead, beat inflation, pay off some debt. And on paper, it looks great, right? The math seems totally solid. $1,000 a month? Easy money. But check this out. After 6 long months of grinding it out, we're talking nights, weekends, the whole deal, this was his actual hourly wage, $9.44. I mean, that's less than half of what he thought he'd make. It's actually below minimum wage in his state. So what on earth happened? All right, let's break this down because Kevin's story, well, it's not unique at all. It actually shines a light on this huge trap that millions of people fall into with side hustles. You see that top line number, that gross income, and you feel super productive, but what we're all forgetting are the costs, the ones hiding right under the surface. So here's the real math. That gross income, $6,200, yeah, it looks pretty good on the surface, but then you start factoring in the real costs of using your car. We're not just talking about gas here. We're talking maintenance, oil changes, tires, and the big one, depreciation. That's the value your car loses with every single mile you drive. And poof, just like that, nearly half his income is gone. His net drops to $3,400, and when you divide that by all those hours he put in, his wage just completely collapses. And look, Kevin isn't some rare exception. He's pretty much the rule. He's caught in something I call the side hustle squeeze. It's this massive economic trend where the promise of making extra cash, well, it just leads to you working way more for way, way less. Sometimes it's even for a negative return. And this isn't some niche problem. This squeeze is hitting a huge number of us. Get this. According to Bankrate, almost 4 out of every 10 American adults has a side hustle. Think about that. That's tens of millions of people who feel like they have to work more just to stay afloat. Now, you might hear that the average side hustle brings in about $810 a month. And that sounds pretty good, right? But here's the catch, and it's a big one. That number is totally misleading because it's gross income. It's before a single expense has been paid. The real story, and frankly the real pain, is in that huge gap between the money that hits your bank account and what you actually get to keep. So that brings us to the next big piece of the puzzle. That squeeze, it gets way, way tighter once we start to really look at all the costs. The ones that almost everyone, just like Kevin, completely forgets to factor in. And what's so interesting is this isn't just about gig work like driving. It happens with high-skilled freelance work too. It's like an illusion. You see an advertised rate of, say, $50 an hour, and you think you've made it. But for every hour you get paid, you're probably spending another unpaid hour on emails, marketing, sending invoices, all that admin stuff. Boom, your rate is cut in half, down to $25. Then you got to pay self-employment taxes, which takes another big bite. Suddenly you're at $21 an hour. It feels like a raise, but really it's a pay cut in disguise. But believe it or not, all of those costs we just talked about, they're just the tip of the iceberg. The real damage, the stuff that truly grinds you down, comes from 3 invisible costs. These are the ones nobody ever calculates, and honestly, they can be way more devastating. Okay, so first up is something called opportunity cost, and it's a simple but powerful idea. It's not about the money you're making, it's about the money you could be making. It's about what you're giving up. Every single hour you spend driving for a delivery app is an hour you're not spending learning a new skill, or networking, or just resting, things that could pay off way more in the long run. And just look at the long-term difference here. It's wild. Let's say you spend a bunch of hours on gig work over 5 years. Maybe you make an extra 30 grand. Not bad. But what if you invested those exact same hours into learning a new high-value skill? You could permanently boost your main salary by $60,000 or even more. The difference isn't just big, it's staggering. It's life-changing. All right, then you've got the health and cognitive costs. This is the burnout factor. When you're working a main job and a side hustle, sleep is the first thing to go. That chronic exhaustion, it just tanks your immune system and makes you less productive at your day job. And then there's decision fatigue. You're so busy managing the little things for your side gig that you have zero mental energy left to think strategically about your actual career or your future. So you might be asking, how do I get out of this squeeze? Well, the answer isn't to just work even harder. That's the trap. The real key is to understand the concept of leverage and to shift your focus from what we call low leverage work to high leverage work. Let's break that down. Most side hustles, like driving, delivering, you name it, are low leverage. You're just trading your time directly for money. There are only so many hours in a day, so your income is capped. And when you stop working, the money stops. You're not building anything permanent. High leverage work is the opposite. It's about building a system, an asset. Think like an online course, an ebook, a piece of software. It's something that can earn money for you even when you're asleep. Okay, so how do you know if your side hustle is a trap or a bridge to something better? Let's walk through a super simple 4-step reality check you can do for yourself right now. Okay, step 1, calculate your true hourly rate and be brutally honest with yourself. Include every single cost and every minute spent. Step 2, really audit those invisible costs. Is this thing draining your health? Is it hurting your main career? Step 3 is the replacement test. Ask yourself, what would my 5-year return look like if I spent all this time learning a new skill instead? And finally, step 4, is there any way for this hustle to eventually become a high-leverage asset? Is there an escape velocity? When you boil it all down, getting out of this squeeze requires a massive shift in how we think. Our culture loves to glorify the grind, being busy all the time. But being busy isn't the same as making progress. We have to stop measuring our hustle by how busy we are and start measuring it by what we are actually building. So I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Is your side hustle a bridge to freedom, or is it just a faster treadmill? Is the work you're doing actually building you an exit ramp to a better place, or is it just burning you out on a road to nowhere? Really thinking about that, well, the answer could change everything.